Hey guys, Nick Layton here. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about 5 quarantine distraction licks. And I just wanted to have a cool little set of licks for you guys to check out here. Nothing too in-depth. I'm just going to play through the licks at normal tempo, slow them down. I'll give you the tab. You can go away and check these out. Just kind of a little way to fill the time. And I also thought these were some pretty cool licks, and so hope you enjoy these. So before we get going on that though, you can check out my free sweep picking guide called Sweep Picking Boot Camp right in the description below. A couple of these licks use sweep picking, and so that guide will really help you with things like this. Also in the description will be the tab for this, so you can get the download. So instead of making this a super long video and really detailed with each lick, I thought I'd kind of just go through the licks fairly quickly, and then you can suss out the stuff with the tab. I think they're pretty straightforward, and I'll just bring out any highlights I think that we need to talk about. Alright, cool, so let's get started. Lick number 1 here, we're going to use an E minor 9 arpeggio connected to a G major 7. Actually, the G major 7 comes first. We'll set that up with a bend. So we're going to do this. And when I say E minor 9, I'm kind of thinking like this sound, where we have that F sharp in the chord, or if it's just a bass note, E, or a E power chord, we color the chord with this 2nd or 9th degree, which ends up being F sharp in the key of E. So you'll see the F sharp featured quite a bit in both of the arpeggios. So let me play through the first arpeggio. This is the G major 7 section. Interesting because it's a sequence in groups of 4 here. So we have notice the little sweeps here. This is the tricky part, is we're playing a pull off, downstroke pull off, 2 upstrokes. Then going back to the first string with a down, then we're going to play up, up, pull. So you put those 2 together, you get. Then we're going to go to the 2nd string B and play the B note, and then up sweep, pull, up. So see, each time we're doing an up sweep, which might be a little different for some of you guys if you're used to just playing straight up and down an arpeggio like that. This is a little trickier because there's smaller movements. To finish it out, so we have this. And that's downstroke on 14 on the G, pull off to 11, up on 12, up on 14. So there's really 4 groups of 4. Whoops. And we're starting it out with a bend, kind of to launch into the lick. And then we're connecting that with an E minor 9 arpeggio. So here we're kind of shifting positions. Without stopping. So right after we play, you land on 14 with an upstroke. You're going to move your index finger to 7, play a downstroke here. And on this one, we're just going straight up and back down. And so it's 7, 10, 9 on the D with a downstroke, on 7, on the G, then an upstroke, 11, upstroke pull, 9 upstroke, 10 upstroke, down on the F sharp to finish it. Even that's kind of a cool little splash of color you can put in. Okay, and that is lick number 1. Lick number 2 is an idea that's inspired by one of my favorite players, Vinnie Moore. This one, you know, he would use things like the 7th arpeggios. Instead of just a simple triad, he might use, let's say, a G major 7 instead of a G major, or an E minor 7 instead of an E minor. If you're not familiar with 7th arpeggios, again, I refer you to my free sweep picking guide, Sweep Picking Bootcamp, in the description below. I have a little section there where I kind of go through 7th arpeggios and how to play them in 3-string versions and 5-string versions. It'll clear it all up really quickly, so check that out. What we're going to do here is play 4 7th arpeggios in the key of E minor, starting with E minor 7, going to F sharp minor 7 flat 5, G major 7, and A minor 7. And we'll end it with a bend. So the pattern goes like this. And that's the part I kind of ripped off from Vinnie Moore. Thanks, Vinnie. It's a down pick and then a hammer pull on the 1st string, followed by 2 up sweeps and a pull off. It flows really well. You can just see how my hand is moving across the string, my pick hand. Okay, no way to get that fast unless you sweep. And then I'm moving that up. So I'm just taking through these 4 arpeggios and just moving it up the neck like this. One more time. Now you can move this in either direction. You could start here and just move like that. So let me play this slow for you. Now notice that you're leading with your pinky. So this could be a little tricky if you're not used to doing that. I would just take time and make sure you're getting all the notes in there, and that you're clear with your sweeps too, and there's not a bunch of excessive noise. So you're going to want to bring in the muting hand, both hands for muting, and just take it slow and work it up to speed. A good reference for this kind of a thing would be the Time Odyssey album from Vinnie Moore. I think Morning Star is a track that I first heard him do something like this on. Alright, that's lick number 2. Okay, lick 3 is by another one of my favorite guitar players, Michael Schenker, inspired. Not exactly his lick, but this, you can hear something like this in Into the Arena, the instrumental tune by Michael, and a lot of times he would play these dominant sounding licks. So in other words, you might hear it over a tonality like an A7 chord. We're in the key of A here, and you know, but instead of playing it over like a traditional blues or a bluesy sounding thing, he might just play over a power chord. And the lick goes like this. It's using the minor 3rd into the major 3rd. And it's using note also from the blues scale in A. Okay, and it's a triplet bass lick. So you want to hear the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, every little subgroup here. You want to be conscious of that so that you're phrasing correctly against the beat. So that's really important with a lick like this. So check out the tab if you're confused about how the notes break up. But here's the lick. love that lick. A couple things to note, fingering wise. I like to slide with the first finger back, and then use the middle finger to slide back up from the 4th fret to the 7th. Okay, everything else is pretty straightforward here. And at the end there, it's kind of a unison note, but we're not playing them at the same time. It's the same note. And then we're sliding into the A. So you hit the A at the first string, and then quickly slide into it. It's a cool effect. And if you add a little wah-wah to that, you get instant Michael Schenker. I got my wah on my pedal board back there, so I can't access it right now, but check it out. Try it with the wah. Here it is one more time slow. Let's do that one more time. Okay, that's lick 3. Lick 4, we're using what is called the Hirajoshi scale, which is a 5-note pentatonic scale, but it's using different notes than the traditional pentatonic. We're in the key of F sharp here. And let me just show you the basic scale pattern I'm working out of. If we start with F sharp on the low E, 14th fret low E, what I want to do is play the first note of the pattern. So the first note's going to be D. So it's going to go 10, 14, 11, 12 on the A, 11, 12 on the D, 11, 13 on the G. Big stretch here, 10 to 14 on the A, on the B string. 10 to 14 also on the high E. So you get this cool little shape on the top 2 strings. Now I'm actually using one note that's not in that pattern. I'm shifting the F sharp when I end the lick down to the 9th fret on the A string instead of playing it here. Okay, so it's kind of a combination of 2 of the patterns. This is worth investigating if you like the sound of the Hirajoshi scale. I like how you can lay these patterns out as 2 notes per string so that you can use pentatonic type of sequences, as most pentatonic stuff is traditionally 2 notes per string. You can apply those sequences also to the Hirajoshi and you can get some cool effects. If we had a sequence like this in F sharp, strictly pentatonic, we could play the same sequence here, just shifting it to the Hirajoshi scale. Okay, so again we're in the key of F sharp minor here. I love this kind of a lick because it's got kind of a rolling sound to it, and the first part uses hammer-ons only. So we're going to start on the D string for this. There's our first pull-off right there on the high E string. So there's no pull-offs until you get there. So it starts out like this. Very important to play the play the hammer-ons in the correct spot, so make sure you check the tab out. And to finish off, we're going to just play this lick descending. So let me play the whole thing slow. Here it is a little quicker. Oops. Marty Friedman is a guy who is kind of famous for using this scale in some of his work, and so definitely experiment around with it. Here it is, normal speed and slow one more time. Slow. that's lick 4. And finally for lick 5, this is kind of an E Dorian style lick, an E Dorian blues scale mix, and it's something fun to play over like an E power chord or even in a blues setting, a fast splash of notes over a blues. So we have this. Mostly legato, so the less picking the better. I'm just playing, let me play, I'll show you how I do it slow. The cool part about this is you have the same frets on the top 3 strings, 12, 14, and 15. So that makes it a little easier, and then we're just landing on the E note at the 14th fret D string to end it. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. If you want to use these fingers, be my guest. For me, it's more comfortable with the index, ring, and pinky. Also, I kind of like the way it sounds on the front pickup, but it works cool on the back pickup too. It's got a little bit more bite that way. That's it. Super simple idea. If you need some work on your legato technique, this could maybe help you out with that too. Alright, so that's it. 5 licks. Now the cool thing is, if you enjoyed this, I'm making another video which is going to be called 5 more quarantine distraction licks, and I'll have that ready shortly. So if you see this video, there's another video also that's kind of connected to this. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this. Stay safe. Check the links below for the sweep picking guide and the tab, and I'll see you next time. Rock on.